Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast Radio.
Well, in June of this year, Ian Oliver and his partner Monica opened a new car service centre in Gorey. Ian joins me now to discuss this new business and his plans to build a large customer base. Ian, you've recently launched your new business, Oliver's Car Service Centre, but first, your previous career was a world away from car servicing.
Oh, certainly, yes. I, for a number of years, used to take photographs of bands, orchestras, choirs, not just in Ireland, but all over Europe, for people like NME, for State Magazine, for Hot Press, the National Concert Orchestra, in fact, RTE performing groups.
And of course, during that time, you got to meet some great characters. So what were the highlights of that chapter of your career?
I guess in a lot of ways it was this feeling as though even though I couldn't play an instrument, I could still promote, and it was promoting in a number of respects independent Irish bands. So bands like, if you like, Ham Sandwich, Fight Like Apes, the Heathers, Remo, Rebellions. These were a number of sort of the small independent bands that I used to work with. So you were helping out at like Hard Working Class Heroes. You were working with IMRO, if you want, on their particular series. And you were getting then to go to places like Brighton for the Great Escape Festival. But it was all about the promotion of these smaller bands to give them visibility within the Irish music scene and also the European music scene, particularly in the UK. You make it in the UK and you can make it in most places.
And it's quite a departure to swap the world of showbiz photography for car servicing. So what prompted this decision?
It was really, I suppose, 2009, myself and my partner, Monica, we set up a business or a centre in Dublin called the Centre for Creative Practices, which was an arts centre dedicated to migrant and culturally diverse artists. This was after the photography. And at that stage, we suddenly realised that even though we were teaching creatives to earn a living, it was very difficult for us to build a sustainable centre. And just a chance meeting with a chance conversation with a friend of mine in Wicklow around about 2016 was, look, Ian, I run a garage. Why don't you come and work for me? Now, it was not something I'd ever really considered, but the general sort of idea was that I had business skills, I had business acumen, I studied international business, I also started doing a master's in business as well at the time, and it was like, okay, I can put some of the work that I've done together into running a garage.
And it was during that time when you were working in Rathnew that yourself and Monica decided to set up Oliver's Car Service Centre in Gorey. Why did you believe that there was a gap in the market for such a business, especially when many people are loyal to their existing garage and maybe dealership?
Exactly. I mean, we looked at a number of places, to be honest. Gorey wasn't just like randomly picked. We'd done feasibility studies in Tullow. We've looked at places in Carlow, Kilkenny. But what we found in Gorey was that there was a very transient population. There was still the local population, but there was a number of people who were migrating either south or north to the Gorey area to live and to work. And we felt that with that type of population, it gave us an opportunity to, they wouldn't necessarily have their dedicated car mechanic in the area. And again, with COVID, what we found is, and again, we found it the same in Rathnew and Wicklow, was that a number of people who used to migrate or to commute to Dublin on a daily basis weren't anymore. They were remotely working from home. And so that gave us the opportunity to say, okay, there's 1-2 car families around the area who are new to the area, who don't know where to go. And that's a market that we can really look and tap into.
So talk to us about how you went about tapping into that particular community.
We basically do a number of advertising. We specifically targeted to a number of cohorts. One would be the family sector, so the family unit with the kids, with the team, probably with 2 cars, who we can look at and sort of offer particular services to. The other cohorts that we looked at was sort of the car dealership people who didn't have a repair sector, who were in the vicinity or within a geographically 20-kilometre distance away from Gorey, that we could utilise to service the cars for them and for their customers. And then also we're looking at the commercial sector or the corporate sector as to how we can utilise within their sphere, and again through networks like the BNI, to get into businesses we can offer to their employees. So we can offer employees the benefits of having their cars picked up, dropped off during working times. Again, to the family sector, we offer a click and collect service where we can actually pick up the car from a designated place, so be that the home, be that the work, or be that the shopping place, and then drop it back to them at a specified time. If any other further work needs doing, then we can look at that and we can arrange further appointments as needed.
And talk to us about the services that you provide at Oliver's, because I'm aware that many of the repair centres like yourselves would be very much focused on the pre-NCT and then, of course, any of the ancillary works.
Exactly. I mean, you've got the NCT, you've also got the commercial side, which is the VTN side of it as well. So we would focus a number of aspects of our business on the pre-NCT work and also the service work as well. So any work that needs to be done to get it through the state inspection tests, we will carry out. We will give you a diagnostics report. We give you a health check as to what might go wrong. And also if the work needs to be carried out beforehand, then we can carry out the work there as well. The main body of work that we do would be servicing and car repairs. So we're talking about brake pads, timing belts, clutches, gearboxes. We do some tyres. We do brake work. We do suspension work as well. The other thing that we do offer, and again, this is becoming more sort of to the norm if you want, because cars are getting more technically advanced, we are offering sort of diagnostic services that are based not just on the mechanical side of things, but on the electrical sides as well.
And of course, there's massive disruption for the motor industry on its way with the emergence of electric vehicles and, of course, coming after that are autonomous vehicles. I was only speaking to Phil Cawley last week about this, and he said, as far as he's concerned today, any new car is like an iPhone on wheels. Is there an opportunity or a threat in that for Oliver's?
I think there's both. I mean, if you were looking at doing SWOT analysis for it, definitely there is huge opportunities and threats there. I mean, if we look at the external factors that are involved in the sale of diesel cars will cease very shortly. I mean, there is numerous controls that are going to be put on fossil fuels. And so we need to be there to address the threat, if you want, and to turn that into an opportunity. I mean, one of the opportunities is that, we're looking at, and we actually do sort of seek out training on hybrid and electronic cars. We're also looking at electrical systems, as I say. We're getting away from sort of like the diesel and sort of the petrol-driven engines and looking more at the electric motors, looking more at sort of sustainability, looking more at being environmentally friendly. And I think that's another thing that's critical is that garages probably have a reputation for being dirty sort of oil-based spaces, and we're trying to look as to how we can recycle, reuse as much as we can. We need to be more environmentally friendly. We need to be more eco. And as such, we need to be more available and have more technological advancements ourselves as a garage to look after these hybrid and electric cars that are coming down the line. There's no getting away from it. It's going to happen. And we just need to be prepared for it.
And Ian, finally, what are your long-term ambitions for Oliver's Car Service Centre in Gorey?
Aspirations are that there would be more than one Oliver's Car Service Centre, not necessarily in Gorey. It could be in Wexford Town, it could be in Wicklow, it could be back in Carlow or Kilkenny or anywhere. But that we offer high-quality service and based on a number of packages, both for sort of those looking for main dealership quality, those looking for a sort of a slightly a lower quality, if you want, but the fact that there would be numerous centres throughout the country.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Ian Oliver from Oliver's Car Service Centre in Gorey, and I wish Ian every success with his new business venture.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.